What's up everyone and welcome back to the channel. Let's dive into our first news. JDM's coach has made a surprising statement, saying that Islam Makhachev is actually an easier opponent than Belal Muhammad. With their highly anticipated fight just around the corner, Islam is preparing to move up to welterweight to face JDM in what many are calling one of the most hyped matchups of his career. Fans are eagerly waiting to see how Islam performs at 170 pounds, but JDM's coach, Ben Vickers, seems confident that his fighter will have the upper hand. In a recent interview with Southern Cross Combat, Ben Vickers explained why he believes Islam may not be as tough a challenge as many think. He said, "I like the matchup, I really do. I think it might actually be a bit easier than the Belal fight, just given the styles. Belal's a bit more unorthodox, so a bit harder to cope with, whereas Islam's a more traditional sort of striker. Obviously, he's a slightly smaller guy, and I don't doubt that he's going to put the weight on." Vickers went on to discuss how Islam's move to welterweight could impact his performance. "There are two ways it could go," he said. "Does not having to cut weight help him, or does carrying that extra weight hinder his cardio? We don't know how that's going to play out yet. He's never fought at 170 as a competitive fighter, so it's going to be his first time stepping up a weight class in a title fight, doing 5 rounds with the champion." The coach acknowledged Islam's incredible run and dominance at lightweight, where he has consistently dismantled every opponent in his path. Still, he believes that stepping into a new division against someone like JDM could be a different story. "It's a tough ask for Islam," Vickers continued. "I understand that his body of work and the way he's dealt with everyone lately makes him the favorite, but I really think Jack's going to have a good time in this fight." Vickers' confidence has sparked quite a debate among fans, especially since many still remember the situation with Duplessis' coach, who made similar bold predictions before Duplessis' big fight, only for things to go in an unexpected direction. Whether this will follow the same pattern or not remains to be seen, but one thing's certain: the build-up to Islam versus JDM is heating up fast. With both fighters determined to prove a point, this matchup is shaping up to be one of the most intriguing and talked about fights in recent UFC history. And before we continue, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to help support the channel. Moving on to another news. Brendan Allen has shown real interest in a potential matchup against Duplessis. During a recent interview with HomaFight, Allen spoke with Jake Knocker about how he's been eyeing this fight for a long time and believes Duplessis doesn't deserve the level of hype he's been getting. Allen didn't hold back when expressing his thoughts and made it clear that this is the fight he truly wants. He said that in an ideal world, the perfect matchup for him would be against Duplessis. "Outside of everything being a perfect world for everyone, it would be me and Duplessis," Allen explained. "I think that's a really good fight too, because everyone else in the top 5, you've already seen them before. Duplessis, you haven't. So yeah, that's a fight that excites me." Allen continued by saying he's wanted to fight Duplessis for quite a while, and not just for competition's sake, but also because he feels the South African middleweight hasn't earned the hype surrounding him. "I've wanted to fight him for a while," Allen said. "Getting that fight would be really nice. He's also a guy I've always wanted to face because, 1, I don't think he's the hype that people say he is. We saw that with Khamzat. Not that I have the same game plan or anything like that, but it's similar in the sense that the hype doesn't always match the fighter." Allen went on to talk about what makes a fight with Duplessis so appealing to him. "Another thing that really excites me about fighting a guy like that," he said, "is that it makes me nervous, but in a good way. It excites me because I know those nerves will bring out the best version of me. He comes to fight. He's very good at making it a fight. He's not going to run. He's not going to try to hold you down or stall. He's coming in to throw down and test you, and that's the kind of fight I like." Allen added that he shares a similar mindset when it comes to fighting. "I'm the same way," he said. "I'm not there to hold on or avoid exchanges. I want to fight." So when you put two guys like that together, it creates something special. It puts on a great show for everyone watching. As Allen continues to build momentum in the middleweight division, a clash with Duplessis could be a defining moment for his career. Both men are known for bringing aggression and intensity to the octagon, and if this matchup happens, it has the potential to deliver one of the most exciting fights in the division's recent history. Moving on to another news, Mario Bautista believes Merab has already laid down the blueprint on how to beat Umar Nurmagomedov. Ahead of his upcoming fight, Mario shared that he plans to follow a similar path, relying heavily on his wrestling and sticking to his game plan, regardless of Umar's strong background and reputation. Speaking to MMA Junkie, Mario said he watched the Merab versus Umar fight closely and learned a lot from it. He explained, "I had Merab winning that fight. I feel like he just took over those last 3, 4, and 5 rounds. He showed great pressure, controlled the pace, and added a bit of showmanship in there. For me, Merab clearly won. He really set a blueprint for how to deal with Umar, staying aggressive, pushing the pace, and not giving him time to settle in." Mario mentioned that most fighters shy away from wrestling with Umar because of his elite grappling pedigree, but he plans to do the opposite. "No one else really wrestled him," Mario said. "The key is to stick to your game plan and not worry about where he's from or what gym he trains at. You go in there, fight your fight, and trust your skills." He also acknowledged that the fight will have its back and forth moments. "It's going to hit the mat for sure," Mario continued. "There will be moments where he looks like he's winning, and then moments where I take over. It's going to be a constant battle of adjustments, and that's what makes it exciting. exciting. We're both well-rounded fighters, good in every area, striking, wrestling, grappling. So, fans should expect a real competitive fight. Mario made it clear that he respects Umar's abilities, but believes pressure and persistence are the keys to victory. You can't give him time to think, he said. Merab showed that if you stay in his face, keep wrestling, and keep working, you can wear him down. That's exactly what I plan to do. Stay disciplined, keep the pace high, and make it my kind of fight. Moving on to another news, things took an unexpected turn when Jon Jones and Ryan Garcia came face-to-face in what looked like a playful but tense crossover moment. No one really saw this coming, but the two combat sports stars ended up having a brief, heated exchange right in front of a Lamborghini. The interaction quickly caught the attention of fans online, with many wondering if Jon was just having fun or trying to make a statement. In the short clip that surfaced, Jon walked up to Ryan and jokingly said, "You know you only box, right? Get off me, you light boy." The energy between them was half serious, half playful, but you could tell Jon was asserting his presence. As Ryan tried to go in for a handshake, Jon pulled back, saying, "No, I don't need that handshake. You know you only box." Ryan laughed it off, replying, "That's fine." But Jon wasn't done, repeating, "Get off me, you light boy," with a grin that said he was clearly enjoying the moment. The short face-off instantly spread across social media, with fans on both sides reacting to the encounter. Some thought Jon was just being himself, confident and playful, while others saw it as another sign that he knows how to keep the spotlight on him. It's not every day you see a UFC legend and a boxing star share the same frame, especially in such an unexpected and entertaining way. The moment ended with both men smiling, keeping things lighthearted. Still, it was enough to stir up plenty of conversation among MMA and boxing fans alike. Whether intentional or not, Jon once again found himself trending, proving he's still one of the biggest names in combat sports, even outside the octagon. Moving on to another news, Dustin Poirier has shared his thoughts on a potential showdown between Max Holloway and Charles Oliveira for the BMF title. After Charles's impressive win over Mateusz Gamrot at UFC Rio, he wasted no time calling out Max for a fight that immediately caught the attention of the MMA world. Fans have been buzzing about what could be one of the most exciting matchups in recent memory, and now, Dustin has weighed in on how he thinks it might play out. In a recent interview with Mike Bone on The Bonfire, Dustin expressed how much he loves the idea of this fight. "Yeah, man, I'm a huge fan of that matchup," Dustin said. "Max versus Charles, I'm a fan of both guys, and I know it's going to be a great fight. I really like both of them, but if I had to make a pick, I've got to go with Max," Dustin explained his reasoning, saying that Max's relentless pace and striking volume would likely be too much for Charles over the course of a 5-round war. The output, his willingness to stand there and throw shots, it's different, Dustin continued. "I do think Charles gets him down at some point. He's that good, but Max will probably get back to his feet. If I had to pick right now, I'd say Max." Dustin also talked about how impressed he was with Charles's recent performance against Gamrot, admitting that it shocked him. "I really thought Gamrot was going to try to test his chin," Dustin said. "Coming back so quickly from such a devastating loss, I would have loved to see that fight unfold a little more. But Charles was a blanket. He just smothered my guy, which I honestly thought was almost impossible to do. I'm still in awe of that performance. Not that I didn't think it could happen, but I didn't think it would be that one-sided." For Dustin, the matchup between Max and Charles represents two very different yet equally dangerous fighting styles. Max brings non-stop pressure, elite boxing, and incredible durability, while Charles offers world-class grappling, powerful striking, and dangerous submissions from anywhere. Dustin believes that even though Charles has evolved into a complete mixed martial artist, Max's pace and toughness could be the deciding factors if the fight stays on the feet. As talks around the BMF title continue to heat up, a fight between Max and Charles would be one for the fans. A true test of skill, grit, and endurance between two legends of the game. Whether it happens next or not, Dustin's prediction has only added more excitement to an already thrilling potential matchup that could easily headline any card in the world. Moving on to another news, Umar Nurmagomedov has finally opened up about the injury he suffered during his fight against Merab earlier this year. The two met at UFC 311 in a 5-round war that ended with Merab winning by unanimous decision. It was a tough loss for Umar, who had gone into the bout undefeated and with huge expectations surrounding him. However, after the fight, Umar revealed that he had broken his hand in the very first round, a detail that his manager later confirmed by posting a picture of his swollen and visibly broken hand online. Now, in a recent interview with Brian Campbell, Umar discussed the injury and explained what really happened during the fight. When asked if he got tired against Merab, who is widely regarded as having some of the best cardio in all of MMA, Umar admitted that the fatigue he felt wasn't just from the fight itself, but also from his body trying to cope with the broken hand. He explained that when an injury like that happens, the body naturally redirects energy to try and manage the pain and start the healing process, which ends up affecting overall endurance and stamina. "To be honest, I don't think I got more tired than Merab," Umar said, "but when you break something in your body starts working to fix it. It gives you adrenaline and tries to close the injury to take away the pain. That's why I felt more tired. My body was using a lot of energy on that. Despite Despite the setback, Umar remained respectful toward Merab and acknowledged just how good his opponent was that night. "He's good," Umar said. "We can't say he's not good. A lot of things happened in that fight, and I think next time I'll be able to close a lot of questions." His words clearly suggest that he's already thinking about a rematch, one that he believes would go very differently if he entered the octagon fully healthy. The injury itself was severe enough to require several weeks of recovery and rehabilitation, and it clearly limited Umar's ability to throw with power or grapple effectively during the fight. Even so, he managed to last all 5 rounds with one of the most relentless fighters in the division, showing incredible toughness and composure. Many fans praised him for his heart, noting that most fighters would have struggled to even continue under those circumstances. Umar's determination to bounce back stronger has only fueled speculation about what comes next for him. He made it clear that he isn't making excuses, but that the next time he steps inside the cage, he'll prove why he belongs among the elite. With his recovery now complete and his focus set on returning, Umar seems determined to show that the version of himself who fought Merab was far from 100%, and that a rematch could tell a completely different story. Moving on to another news, Dana White wasn't exactly thrilled after hearing Tom Aspinall's recent comments about potentially vacating his heavyweight title rather than fighting his close friend and training partner, Ante Delija. Tom spoke about the situation in a recent interview, revealing that Delija had just made his UFC debut last month and scored an impressive first-round knockout win over Marcin Tybura. That victory immediately pushed Delija into the heavyweight top 10, making him only a couple of wins away from a potential title shot. Tom explained that the situation is complicated because of how close the two are. He said, "My friend and training partner just got to the UFC. He got his first win and now he's in the top 10, which is crazy. He's potentially 2 or 3 wins away from a title shot. The thing is, if I had never won a title before, I would fight him because that's my dream. But now that I've done it, I would rather vacate the title and let him have his time. I wouldn't fight him, no chance. He's one of my genuine friends, and there are some things that mean more to me than money or titles. I've already touched gold, I've achieved that goal, and I can focus on other challenges while he rises." Tom went on to say that he still has more left to accomplish in his career, but not at the expense of someone he truly cares about. "I've still got more to do," he added, "but I can do that while he gets his opportunity. When he's up there, I'll be happy for him." However, when Dana White was shown this clip during an interview with TNT Sports, the UFC president didn't hide his frustration. He said, "You know what I think about that before you even ask me? I hate that. Friends, relatives, teammates, they've all fought each other before. Whether you're friends with someone or you can't stand them, this sport is about competition. You're in there to find out who the best fighter in the world is," Dana continued, emphasizing that being a champion comes with responsibilities. When you become a world champion, your job is to defend that title against whoever earns the right to face you. To even think about vacating a world title because you don't want to compete against someone is absolutely insane. This is a sport built on competition and proving yourself against the best. If you're the champ, you fight whoever's next in line. Still, Dana acknowledged that the final decision rests with Tom. "He's a grown man," Dana concluded. "That's up to him. If that's the choice he wants to make, fine, but it's not something I agree with. At the end of the day, when you're a world champion, you're supposed to fight the best, no matter who it is." The contrast between Tom's loyalty and Dana's hardline stance on competition shows the constant tension between friendship and business in the fight game, especially at the very top of the UFC. Moving on to another news, Tom Aspinall believes people are seriously underestimating Ciryl Gane ahead of their upcoming heavyweight title fight this weekend. The champion, who's coming off a dominant first-round TKO win over Curtis Blades, says he's made major improvements since his last outing and feels more prepared than ever to defend his belt. Despite entering the fight as a heavy favorite, Tom admits he's aware of how dangerous Gane is and thinks many fans are being unfair in overlooking him. Speaking about his preparation, Tom said that this fight feels different from anything he's done before. "This is going to be my first time really feeling the energy of the crowd again," he said. "I've fought here twice before, but it's been over a year since I've felt that kind of atmosphere. I'm looking forward to getting out there, feeling the energy of the fans and embracing all the emotions that come with it. It's definitely different from training, and I've made some big improvements in my game. I can't wait to test them out in a live fight." Aspinall also mentioned how proud he is of his training camp, saying it's one of the best of his career. "I'm in great shape, both physically and mentally," he said. "Everything's gone fantastic this camp. No injuries, nothing like that. I've put in a lot of effort, even on days when I didn't feel like it. I really went above and beyond this time, and I'm proud of the work I've done." When talking about Gane, Tom was full of respect, but also confident in his own abilities. "I think a lot of people are overlooking him and it's unfair," he said. "A lot of that comes from his last performance, where it was a questionable decision, but that's got nothing to do with him or me. I know he's a very good fighter. He's been around the top of the division for a long time, same as me. I'm sure he's bringing his best this time, and I'm bringing mine. Let's see who comes out on top." Tom went on to praise Gane's defensive skills and athleticism. "His defense is very good. He doesn't get hit very much, so I've got to be patient and ready for that," he explained. "He's big, fast, and athletic, but so am I. I think think it's going to be an interesting fight, something we haven't really seen before in the heavyweight division. Two big guys moving fast, throwing sharp combinations, doing things heavyweights don't usually do. Finally, Tom shared his mindset heading into the fight. "If you ask what I hope the fight looks like, I'd love to walk across the cage and knock him out in 10 seconds, he said with a laugh. Do I think that'll happen? Probably not, but I do think it's going to be exciting. I believe I'm the best heavyweight in the world, and my job is to keep proving it every time I step into that cage." Moving on to another news, both Kamaru Usman and Henry Cejudo have given their predictions for the upcoming heavyweight title fight between Tom Aspinall and Ciryl Gane, and both legends are leaning toward Tom getting the job done. During a recent discussion, Henry shared that while Tom is an incredible talent with knockout power and athleticism, the key question is whether he can maintain his pace and composure over 5 full rounds. He compared the situation to when Francis Ngannou first fought Stipe Miocic, explaining how fighters who rely heavily on early knockouts can sometimes struggle against more tactical opponents who know how to evade, counter, and drag the fight out, Henry said. "My biggest question for Tom is, has he gone 3 or 5 rounds completely? Because his biggest gift is that knockout power, but that can also burn him out." When Ngannou fought Stipe for the first time, it was different because Stipe knew how to survive, wrestle, and use tactics. That threw Ngannou off completely. But in this case, I just don't think Gane has that wrestling ability to really threaten a guy like Tom. That's why I'm going with Tom Aspinall. Kamaru agreed with Henry's take, but added that if anyone in the heavyweight division has the athleticism and skill to potentially beat Tom, it's Ciryl Gane. Kamaru said, "I'm going to second that, Henry, but if there's one guy left in the heavyweight division right now who could possibly beat Tom, it's Gane. He's on a short list as one of the best all-around athletes in the entire UFC." Henry then went further into his prediction, saying he believes Tom will get the finish, but not right away. "If you're asking me for a prediction," Henry said, "I'd probably go with Tom by finish in the later rounds. I'm not going to say first round knockout because I don't think that's how it'll play out, but I can see Tom wearing him down, bringing in some of that striking in the later rounds, and eventually getting the finish." Kamaru responded with a laugh, adding, "Yano, come on, we're talking about heavyweights here. This isn't flyweights or bantamweights. These are heavyweights with real power. It's just a matter of time, and once they touch gloves and start landing clean, it's like giving someone NyQuil." Both agreed that this matchup is fascinating because of how unique both fighters are for the division. Tom brings speed, precision, and confidence, while Gane offers elite movement and striking rarely seen in heavyweights. Despite acknowledging Gane's athleticism, Usman and Cejudo both ultimately sided with Tom Aspinall to come out victorious, predicting that his power, composure, and growth as a fighter will make the difference when the cage door closes. That's it from MMA Pulse News. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for daily MMA news.